Turned it down. What up, people? So, just gonna talk about your personal training certification, how much it matters, and how, in a lot of ways, it doesn't matter. No, I don't mean it like that. It does matter. It's definitely important for you to be a certified fitness professional, whether you're going to be a personal trainer, whether you're going to teach group exercise class, whether you're going to try to go and work for a gym or partner with another fitness professional in some way. It's always very good and extremely important to have that base, to have that fundamental knowledge, that textbook knowledge, that written, what's the word, written examination, type protocol backing behind you. I think it's very important. It's a necessary step. So the things that I'm about to say, don't take it as if it's irrelevant, but I also want to highlight the fact that it's not even 50% of the battle. I've talked on other videos before, of course, about my fitness background is what a lot of my content is about. But I've been in the fitness industry for about 10 years or so at this point. Graduated from University of Houston, degree in kinesiology, certified. And I can tell you from experience, from being an entry-level employee, from being in management, that a lot of your success will not come from your certification or won't come from what you know on paper, but more so what you've actually done and experienced. So a lot of people kind of ask, well, how can I get experience without the certification? Or how does it make sense for me to value the practicality before I'm certified and can be granted the access to practice in the field? So I want to talk a little bit about that today, what that means, what that looks like, and how to leverage your certification or leverage your education before, during, and after. So the common mistake is that a lot of people, they go out, they spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on the NASM certification or the ACSM, or they find these different workshops across the globe, and they think that those things are going to position them to be a better trainer or make more money or whatever. So this does look good on paper if you are trying to apply to work for an organization or work for a company or work for someone else. So if your objective is to work for a 24-hour fitness or LA Fitness or Lifetime Fitness, or if your mission is to work for or with an organization or corporation that's going to hire you and put you on salary and give you benefits and those things, then yes, your certifications, your titles, your degrees, all of those things will look good. But even so, only look good up to a certain point, because you're still going to have to interview for that position. A lot of times people, they get certified, they have all these degrees, all these plaques on the wall, and their resume stops there. And those things will, in some ways, disqualify you with certain companies, because it's like, all right, dude, like, you spend all your time in the books, you spend all your time in school, and you haven't actually done anything. So while you're getting these certifications, the first thing to remember is that at the end of the day, on a fundamental level, all of the certifications are teaching you the same thing. They're going over the same material. In specific ways, yes, some certifications, some curriculums go deeper into certain areas than others. Some specialize and focus on certain areas over others. Yes, of course, for sure. But at the end of the day, they're all showing and teaching you the same thing on a fundamental level. So with that being said, when it comes to certifications, I would advise anyone to not spend a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money trying to go for the super fancy certification. Just make sure that your certification is an accredited certification, which means that it's nationally recognized. And then, you know, from there you should be good. So don't spend thousands of dollars when you could just spend hundreds and, you know, ideally receive the same information. Now, along with you becoming certified, you want to have a personal training certification. So you want to be labeled and registered as a CPT. If you own your own business, you got to look into LLC and business insurance if you want to go that route. But also the more fundamental, you know, certification or checkbox list is going to be your CPR certification as well. So those are 2 to 3 things you're going to have to make sure that you have under your belt. But also too, the more important part from experience, and I would even argue the most important part, is your actual experience. So while you're obtaining your certification, try to link up with other fitness professionals who may be established, and, you know, just simply ask them if you can shadow, or ask them about some of their in-person experience or in-person stories about being in the field. What I see a lot of times is that, you know, a lot of people put a lot of energy into becoming certified and then have no idea how to market themselves. They have no idea how to train somebody in real time. They have no idea how to modify exercises. They have no idea how to deal with some of the communication barriers that come with not only acquiring clients, but also maintaining and sustaining and progressing the clients outside of your physical fitness program. You know, there's a lot of mental and emotional barriers and things you have to assess and overcome as well when you're in the fitness industry. And the book and the textbook and the certifications don't necessarily prepare you for that. They prepare you for exercise movement and knowing how to move through the planes and knowing how to properly warm up and cool down and stretch and understanding muscle insertions and all of that fancy shit. But they don't really tell you how to, you know, assess a client's emotional intelligence and how to know, you know, and understand their lifestyle and understand some of the intangible factors that go into maintaining and progressing not only your client, but your brand and your business as a whole. So make sure you try to shadow and get some real-time, real-life advice from other fitness professionals. A really good way and easy way to do that is to try to position yourself to have an internship. So whether that be a formal internship through an education system, if you're in school, like if you're doing like a 2-year or 4-year degree plan, or if you're a part of a certification program that offers an internship option, I always highly recommend you do that so that you get some in-field knowledge. So that way, as you're finishing up your certification or your degree plan, you'll have something more on your resume outside of that checkbox item. You'll have more to say and more to bring to the table outside of, hey, I went to school and I finished. They're like, okay, well, what else have you done? Because, you know, companies and even clients, private clients, they're looking for someone who can hit the ground running. You know, nobody wants to be the practice client. Nobody wants to be the test dummy. Nobody wants to be your first, you know, if you want to think about it like that. Nobody wants to be your first. Nobody wants to be the experiment, you know, person or, you know, company that kind of takes you in. You know, they at least want you to have some type of not only base knowledge of education, but base knowledge of application as well. So that's something that's super important that you need to be thinking about. And you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here, just because there's a bunch of different layers that I want to get into, but I don't want this video to be too long. Been working on not making my videos so long. So yeah, I would just say make sure that as you're focusing on your certifications, that you're also focusing on getting some in-person practical knowledge too, either through shadowing or internship. That'll help you along the way. And bonus, that'll help you connect a lot of that textbook information too. A lot of times you can recall it and recite it, or regurgitate that information verbatim, but if you're not really connected to it from a real life sense or in a real life way, real life manner, then it'll be hard for you to make that connection once you step into the field asking people to pull out their checkbooks and swipe their cards. So I hope this helps some people kind of fine tune their thought process as it relates to becoming certified. The certification, I would probably say, is really only maybe 20 to 30% the battle at most. You know, I would say even closer to 20. But everything else after that is going to be, or it's going to boil down to how you market yourself, which is another big one, especially in today's fitness game, and also how good you actually are in person, or also virtually too, which is a whole nother component and a whole nother video. So I'm gonna cut it off right there. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.